10 players out, 7 players in, and it's not even August. This Moneyball rebuild of Everton is massive. Greetings, my excellent friends, and welcome back to Club 3 Part 2 of the Director of Moneyball. I am Kirk Sheridan, and this squad is angry. We've already moved on a lot of the players who wanted to leave after relegation, but there are a few who are now starting to cause a bit of trouble. Alex Iwobi, Dwight McNeil, and Brandon Williams all want to leave because of the club being relegated, and there's friction. We have 6 players supporting those who want to leave. We have 4 players who are against their teammates and think, no, they should absolutely stay and help Everton get back to the big time at the first time of asking. And it's very interesting if you look at how that squad is divided. So apart from Doucouré, all of those players who are supporting the guys who want to leave are youngsters, untried, untested, haven't really proven their ability at this level. But those who disagree with their stance are established first-teamers. So I now have a serious decision to make because that situation could cause ructions throughout the season if I don't get it right. We have received an offer from Brentford, £12 million up front, 10.5 in instalments, and another nearly 7 after 50 league appearances with percentage of profit from next sale as well. It's expected that potential value could exceed £29 million, which is above current market value. So, Moneyball rules, I have accepted. Rule 9, if anyone offers above their market value, you have to say yes. So the ball is now back in Brandon Williams' court to agree this transfer, and I hope by doing so it will improve some of this dressing room situation. It does also mean, however, that we really need to go scouting for a left back. I'm just hoping we'll be able to find someone a little bit cheaper. As I mentioned in the intro, though, it's not even August yet, 30th of July, and we have done a ridiculous amount of business. You saw all of the outgoings in the previous episode. Let me now take you through the incoming transfers. I showed you Mansverk, who joined from Juventus in the previous episode. Natural central midfielder, room to become a good Premier Division player. He was our first signing for £4.1 million, now valued up to 14. Moneyball at work once again, my friends. Just a day later, we brought in 2 further signings. Hugo Ekitike from PSG. We signed him for 3.2. He's now valued up to 11 million. Never broke into the first team squad really for PSG, apart from a lot of substitute appearances. But a full season on loan in the Bundesliga last time out gives me confidence that he can come into this team and do a good job. He can play any of the 3 roles across the front line. Pacey, also quite tall. His physical presence is going to cause a lot of problems for players in this division. And we also brought in Trilly for £5.25 million from Borussia Dortmund. His value has nearly tripled already, which is a great sign. And another player who never really made it in the first team with their parent club, but you can see a lot of game time with Deportivo, with Borussia Dortmund 2, over 100 first-team appearances and a 6.94 average in his career so far. He's pacey, he's not bad at crossing and dribbling, so I'm hoping he will become a fixture on the right side of the defence. Sinali Diomande then joined from Montpellier for £4.5 million, potentially going up to 5.5. Fantastic aerial presence, strong, fast, good mental attributes. If not a nailed-on starter, will provide some solid backup, and his value's almost doubled. The second most expensive of our signings so far is Dire Mabude from Manchester City. Natural right winger, can play up front, really has room to grow with his technical and mental attributes in particular. But I'm looking at the time he spent on loan in Belgium, in League One, in the Championship. His technique, his flair, his determination, his pace, his crossing, his dribbling. I mean, he could be such an amazing attacking threat. And, again, with Moneyball in mind, cost 8 million, already worth up to 24. Charlie Patino was one of the few trialists that I brought in, and we've picked him up on a free transfer, and he's already worth somewhere between 14.5 and 18.5 million. That is a bargain piece of business. Central midfielder with room to grow and develop. And finally, coming from Lyon in this universe, Stefan Bajcetic. He never really got going at Liverpool on this save, but spent a year on loan at Exeter, spent some time in France. But again, look how much his value has increased as a ball-playing defender. I really do believe this guy could take the Championship by storm. And we've got 2 more transfers lined up. First one, for a bargain £2.1 million after relegation from Serie A, is Alessandro Sassati from Parma. Now, he doesn't have the longer-term potential of other players, but for that price, cannot say no. It's worth noting Tottenham and Villa are showing an interest, Schalke, West Ham, so hopefully he will join us soon. And lastly, for now, Caligari from FC Augsburg. Now, I know we've already got Trulli, but the quality this player has is phenomenal. As an attacking wingback who can also play defensive midfield, he could be a fixture in our team for a long time yet. And it's not just about the players, of course. I'm trying to build out that backroom team. I've offered jobs now for a head of youth development, 2 new coaches, 2 new scouts, which I'm hoping will give us pretty much the best backroom staff in the division. Right, let's see who else we can find then. Well, here is a timely reminder of one of our Moneyball rules. Do not buy strikers unless absolutely necessary, because they are ridiculously overpriced. We've just pulled out of a deal to sign Armando Broja because he wanted over £100,000 a week. Looking at the current wage structure of this team, no. Remember, don't buy strikers. And here's another that's fallen through. Sadly, Sassati has decided to join West Ham United. They play in the Premier League. He is very excited about playing in that particular division. I understand where he's coming from, but I do wonder how much game time he's going to get. And I think we will keep him on our shortlist. Well, I have to be honest, despite all these transfer shenanigans, this is probably the worst piece of news of my time at Everton so far. Ben Watson, my old assistant manager at Worthing, who took Worthing into the National League where they have remained, has been approached by Derby County. So what did I do? Well, obviously, I approached to sign him. And he doesn't want to because he's got previous at Tranmere and is reluctant to join a rival team. Ben! I thought we meant more to each other than this. That's devastating. What about Thomas Lech then, our assistant manager at Birmingham? I wanted to bring him in to manage our under-21s, but no, he is adamant he has to be an assistant manager and nothing else, which, considering he's basically been head coach and running the squad at Birmingham for the last year, that's understandable. But I'm going to be giving Antony Clarke a good chance, Thomas, so I apologise. It looks like we might be rivals for the foreseeable future. Quick caveat, that rule of don't buy strikers unless absolutely necessary because they're massively overpriced, those words unless absolutely necessary are critically important as I explain this incoming deal. Sonny Finch is joining us from Fulham for £14.5 million. He hasn't increased his value at the point of joining, so we did pretty much pay market value for him. But given our 2 best strikers at the club are currently Dwight McNeil, who is a winger, and Dele Alli, an attacking midfielder, we've only got Hugo Ekitike ahead of him in the pecking order at the moment, so I think he's going to get a lot of game time. And he's already got loads of championship experience. 15 goals in 33 matches when he was on loan at Portsmouth a couple of years ago, 10 in 40 for Middlesbrough. He can play on the wing, so it might well be that he was actually not playing up front for some of that time. So he fits all of our club DNA. He's got outstanding determination. The teamwork and work rate is just about there. He's got pace, stamina, strength. I'm expecting him to play as that advanced forward, getting on the end of a lot of through balls from our midfield, from our wingers. So welcome to Everton, Sonny Finch. So with that deal done, we are 3 days out from our first match in the Championship, away against Hull City. We still have nearly £33 million to spend and over £1 million in wage budget. As I'm looking for Moneyball signings, don't get excited. I don't think I'll be able to spend all of this budget this transfer window. But with Brandon Williams on the way out, I really am looking for that left back. We need some of these scout reports to come off. There's some good potential players in there, but they're looking like a lot of money at the moment. And I don't believe it. Brandon Williams has turned down Brentford. He's rejected their contract offer. Although he's still publicly complaining that he wants to leave the club because we got relegated and that he wants to join Brentford because they play in a better division. Brandon, what are you thinking? Friday the 7th of August 2026, the day before Antony Clarke's first match in charge of Everton Football Club. And we are favourites, but I have absolutely no idea who he's going to pick. This is apparently the best 11 as he sees it at this point in time. Caprile in goal, Brandon Williams at right back. He's suspended for the first match, so that's going to be different anyway. Trilly is the backup. Bajcetic and Diamande in defence. Samuel Smith, the youngster at left back. That's showing you just how much I need to upgrade that left back slot. Then Onana, Garner and Iwobi in midfield with Mabude, McNeil and then Ekitike up front. Is this what he'll choose? I don't know. That's the beauty of playing as director of football. It's entirely down to Antony Clarke. Clarke is expecting good things though. He thinks we're in a good position, we're working hard in training, and that can only lead to good things on the pitch. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think of this transfer business so far? It's by far the most money I've ever had to spend in this save, and I genuinely don't know if I'm doing a good job. It's brave to get rid of all of those experienced players. It's brave to bring in a lot of not quite proven youngsters, but we've essentially swapped out a load of 30-somethings for a load of 20-somethings who can and hopefully will improve. Let me know your thoughts. Well, the board have let me know theirs. They're expecting a win in this match, and I think that's been supported by the fact that Caligari has now got a work permit, so he is joining us. Thankfully, once again, his value's gone up. This looks like a good Moneyball signing, and I'll tell you what, this is probably the most encouraging sign of all. After all of that transfer business, on the verge of kickoff, we're once again odds-on favourites to win the championship. That is brilliant. No pressure, Antony Clarke, except, you know, a little bit of pressure. We looked at his attributes in the last episode. He is quite possibly the best manager in the championship on paper. If anybody can get this team firing, it's him. Show us what you can do, AC. And away from home on the first day of the season, Everton win 3-2. We were 3-0 up in the first 15 minutes. And Hull City have what looks to be an absolutely ludicrous XG, but actually they got 2 penalties, scored one and missed the other. Some great performances. So this is how we lined up. You had Caprila in goal playing as a sweeper keeper. Branthwaite on the left playing as a fullback, interestingly, not as a wing-back. But he put in a solid performance. Caligari started despite joining us this morning. Also played as a fullback, so a little more reserved here, I think, from Antony Clarke. Interesting. Bajcetic played as a central defender rather than a ball-playing defender. That is very interesting. I would have thought he would have been a shoo-in for a ball-playing defender, but we had Onana playing that role instead. Onana, who is actually a defensive midfielder by trade. Oh, Clarke is getting very experimental with his lineup here. Garner played deep as a defensive midfielder. Iwobi as a Metzala. Mansverk as a box-to-box midfielder, picking up a goal and an assist. Ramazzani as an inverted winger. And McNeil played on the right as a winger despite being left-footed. So very interesting team selection here from Antony Clarke, which concluded with Sonny Finch, as I anticipated, playing as an advanced forward. Opening goal from a corner for Mansverk, with Caligari setting that one up. Great to see us making the most of set pieces early on. A phenomenal ball over the top from Mansverk, which Finch managed to put away with the deflection off of the defender. So bit of a helping hand there from the Hull City defence. Mansverk involved once again. He played the pre-assist, but Iwobi put it away after a through ball from Ramazzani. And that was after 15 minutes. Then they scored with a corner. Not much we could do about that one before that penalty set up what was probably quite a nervy finish, I would expect. But we come away with the 3 points. That's the most important thing. Off to a winning start. Antony Clarke, 100% win record. Well, if there's anything that can show me the step up that I've made to a bigger club, it's probably this. I've just been informed that Everton have sold 32,000, nearly 33,000 season tickets this season, which is down on the 40,000 from last year, but it's more than the entire capacity of St Andrews when I was director of football at Birmingham City. If I can get this club back up, if Antony Clarke can get this club back up, we really are in the big time, my friends. I'm starting to get nervous about this situation with our unhappy players, though. This is something I'm really going to have to keep an eye on. I would love to be able to go and have a conversation with Iwobi, with McNeil, with Williams to let them know, you know what, if we don't get promoted back to the Premier League at the end of the season, by all means, we'll let you go. I'll let you go even for a cut price fee because I'm that convinced that we're going back up. And I can't. There's nothing I can do other than warn them for their current conduct, which I think is probably a bad move. Look at this, Brandon Williams. He's still complaining that he didn't get to join Brentford when he chose not to. Well, I've definitely got some decisions to make by the end of this transfer window. Do I keep them, risking discontent for the rest of the season, or do I just make the money while I can? Weaken the strength of the squad, improve the dressing room atmosphere. That is going to be a big call to make in about the next 3 weeks. Some great news though, we are building that better scouting network. Florian Zahn now has joined us, replacing John Doolan. Compare the two. John Doolan only really had scouting knowledge of England and fairly average scouting attributes, to be perfectly honest. Whereas Zahn knows a lot more about Central Europe and great attributes, so he can cast the net much wider. And similarly, we've also brought in Stefan Chapuisat for exactly the same reason. So I'm looking forward to seeing what bargains they can find with our now worldwide scouting coverage. Oh, well, this should be fun, my friends. Our team leaders are now approaching me because they feel that Alex Iwobi should be allowed to leave the club. One of those team leaders is Alex Iwobi. The other is Dwight McNeil, who also wants to leave the club. I think I'll just be upfront about this. I don't want to make us less competitive, not until we've got more quality players in. But no. What good is it going to do keeping him here if he doesn't want to be here, though? And I think it's Alex Iwobi saying that, talking about himself in the third person. Fine. You know what? I'd rather have you out the door than causing trouble. Iwobi's handed in a transfer request. Right, fine. Let's offer him out and see what happens. No offers for Alex Iwobi the day before our first home match of the season against Sunderland because no one thinks they can accommodate his wage demands. He's 30 years old, currently earning £87,000 a week. He is wanted by Brighton, but I think it's unlikely they'll want to pay that kind of wage to a 30-year-old. Well, this is a situation we'll have to keep an eye on. Obviously, a couple of weeks still to go until the end of the transfer window. Anything could happen. Back to pressing matters. We are favourites for this game against Sunderland. Odds-on favourites, in fact. And we have no real selection problems, so we're absolutely watching this first home match in the Bramley Moor Dock Stadium live. Oh my word, and disruption reigns on the morning of the match. We've received an offer from Sheffield United for Jared Branthwaite, who started last match as our left-back. We're being offered an absolute pittance for him, less than £500,000 in total value. He's only valued currently up to £900,000. He is 24 years old, doesn't look like he's going to improve. However, he's currently our starting left-back, so until I've sorted that, he stays. I still think Williams is going to go, so we definitely need at least one left-back. Maybe two, and given that Onana's currently playing as a defender when he's a defensive midfielder naturally, I think, still need one or two central defenders as well. Business still to be done, but it is kickoff time. It's our first home match of the season. We have a bunch of moody players, £59 million worth of new signings still settling in, and thankfully, Antony Clarke. Antony, my friend, it's over to you. Look at this amazing ground. There we are lining up with a 4-3-3 formation. This looks like a stadium for the future, doesn't it? We're playing against a 4-3-3 as well, but looking like a narrow 4-3-3. So it'll be interesting to see how we do pair up against Sunderland there. Players are walking out onto the pitch. There's a lot of gaps in the ground, but don't forget this is a 53,000 capacity stadium. So who do we have in our lineup? Caprila in goal. Williams is back into the team playing at left back. Caligari on the right. Onana and Bajcetic in the middle again with Garner, Mansverk and Iwobi in midfield. So that's exactly the same as before. McNeil still playing on the right wing. I wonder if he's going to be playing as an inverted winger this time. Dele Alli starting on the left wing and Sonny Finch up front. And we've got a bench full of talent. Diro Mabude, Trulli, Hugo Ekitike, Ramazani, Diomande and Lewis Dobbin, who to be fair is one of our better up-and-coming young players. 10 minutes in, nothing much is happening. We've got 52% possession. We've taken 3 shots. 20 minutes in, we've taken 4 shots. Slow start. But we have a free kick miles out. This is unlikely to come to anything, but let's have a look. Garner's winding up for this one. There is a lot of space there if the goalkeeper is going to get across. If it's on target, oh! If he'd just been able to keep that down a little bit, that would have been a cracking goal. And that's it, just the one highlight in the first half. We've been the better team. Sunderland have not created anything at all. But I do wonder how much of this slow pace, the lack of threat in front of our fans is down to the fact that we've got that grumpy squad on the pitch. Now, we've made some changes. Dele's off for Ramazani, Finch is off and Ekitike is on, but a free kick for Sunderland, which is claimed easily by Caprila. That's good. Is he going to play it out from the back? No, it's a long kick upfield. Alex Iwobi gets on it, plays it back to McNeil, who is running down the outside. He is not inverting. So is he going to cut back? He does. And that shows why Dwight McNeil should probably not be playing as a winger. He had to cut inside onto his left foot, and it came to nothing. It was easily cut out by Sunderland, who now have the ball in midfield and loft the ball over the top to their striker, and it's off the line by Caligari. What pace to get back there and prevent that going in the back of the net. Quality defending there by Caligari. Now, Onana's picked up a booking. He plays it to Garner, who drives forward with the ball. Ekitike! Oh, it's off the post! Oh, now we're getting some end-to-end quality football here. This is what I like to see. So we've dropped possession, actually. We're down to just 48% of possession, although we've still created far more opportunities. McNeil is off now, and Diomande on. Caligari with the corner. It's across and out. Ramazzani picks the ball up. Cuts it back to Diomande. Miles out. Onana, Garner. Just playing it slow and plays all the way back to Caprila. Can he restart the attack? Just recycles it. And we're taking our time here. Looks like we're trying to draw Sunderland onto us. Foot on the ball. Taking our time in possession. Not generating too much threat, but looking to play the ball through. Right, Mabude now. And that right winger. What can he do on his right foot? It does get through to Ekitike, but it was just behind him. And he couldn't quite put the shot away. We've made another substitution, so we now have Caprila in goal. Williams still playing as an inverted wing-back. Trilly as a full-back. Bajcetic still playing as a central defender. Disappointed, I must admit, that we haven't got Clarke playing him as a ball-playing defender. Caligari now playing as a defensive midfielder, which has freed up Iwobi and Garner. Mabude as a winger, Ramazzani inverted winger, and Ekitike up front. We're in front of our home fans. We've got to make this count. And Ekitike manages to get the header on target from the corner, but it was straight into the hands of Gunn, the Sunderland goalkeeper. We are better than this. It's a new team that's gelling, as you saw, £59 million spent on these players. And it looks like it so far. It looks like this is a brand new team who's still learning how to play together, that's still got some right grumpy folk holding things back. Iwobi playing a ridiculously loose ball there, just proving that he really shouldn't be in this side. And it's from Iwobi's loose ball, the ball comes to Sunderland, and that has all come from one of those moody players, Alex Iwobi, just playing a nothing ball, not making any effort to actually keep hold of possession in midfield. A loose pass, which Sunderland just snatched onto straight away. Easy ball over the top, and then Embleton takes it past Caprila. That is hugely disappointing and is actually tempting me to stick Iwobi in the under-21s. 5 minutes left and we're now not creating anything. We're into injury time. Trilly picks up the ball, plays it to Mabude, but it comes back. Trilly is on it again. It's deflected. Oh, and it just goes to Gunn. Ekitike can't quite get on the end of it. Oh, I'm so disappointed with what I just saw from Iwobi. It was such a lazy pass. But we've got maybe one more chance. Garner, Iwobi again doesn't get on the end of it. Trilly charging down the wing, plays it to Mabude. It's across to Ekitike and we get the equaliser. We've got time for a winner here, come on. Great timing with the run there from Mabude across to Ekitike, who got in front of the defenders. Beautiful, beautiful low cross from Mabude. Exactly where Ekitike needed it. Are we going to get another opportunity? No, we don't, but we managed to salvage that point, which should have absolutely been 3 if it wasn't for that shocking, shocking bit of play from Alex Iwobi, leading to the Sunderland goal. But 20 shots, 7 on target, 2.1 XG. We played very, very well. Although you wouldn't necessarily guess that based on the performances of the starting squad. Mabude came on and changed the game. Star-making turn, and I would like to see him start ahead of McNeil in our next match. But that's not down to me. That is, of course, down to this man, Antony Clarke. currently unbeaten in Football Management after 2 matches. How long can that record continue? We've got Blackpool and Preston in the league and Wickham in the Carabao Cup to play before the transfer window closes. And we will be back soon to see just what happens to Alex Iwobi, to Dwight McNeil, to Brandon Williams, and who else am I going to bring in to ready this Everton squad for Antony Clarke to take them back to the Premier League this season. Well, I hope you've enjoyed what you watched today. It's been great to share with you as always. If you have enjoyed it, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on to find out the second the next part drops, and please be excellent to each other in the meantime. I'm Kirk Sheridan. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.